Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth, and I'm back today with a Divine Feminine to Divine Masculine tea reading. This reading is going to be with the Red Raspberry Leaf tea for the Divine Feminine, and Red Raspberry Leaf and Tulsi for the Divine Masculine. So that's what I'm using today for the tea, and I'm just going to be reading the tea as I see it. For those of you who are going to be watching for the Divine Feminine, this is the one that you're going to want to pay attention to, and Divine Masculine, this is the one you're going to want to listen to. However, there is a lot of crossover content, so I would encourage you to listen through the full video, just because a lot of things can come through. And I'm also looking for twin flames, soulmates, any kind of union, anything that might have to do with soul contracts, things like that for you and your person. So I'm looking also, for just collective divine feminine messages as well as collective divine masculine messages. So there's going to be an interesting blend of things that do come through, and I have done other videos. I really enjoy these ones, which is why I'm back doing this today. I do want to make note that my longer content videos have really been tanking for the algorithms. It's just been really hard to get any traction. So please, if you see this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share it. Please comment, drop a heart in the comments. If you're new, please subscribe. It helps out my channel and gives me a boost of, confidence and just energy, that people are appreciating the work that I'm doing and liking the work that I'm doing. If you want to support me more, you can buy me a coffee or donate. There's usually a link I leave in the description for how to donate, but also there's a link, there's a PayPal button that I usually put in the comments as well. So you're more than welcome to do that. It really supports the work that I'm doing. For like every, I would say 50 videos, I might get one donation. So it's not a lot. And even if it's, $20, $25, I appreciate all of them so much. And it makes my whole world spin when people donate. So I'm just gonna jump in. I do want to say thank you to everybody who has been supportive of my work too. I can't say thank you enough to the people that have supported me and the work that I've done across the platforms. So I'm gonna start with the Divine Feminine. I'm recording. I had to put this, I have this like handmade quilt that I made when I was 16 down because the light in here is kind of fading and it's kind of late in the day to record, but I was like, I'm just going to jump in and record this. So that's what's underneath here. But yeah, let me see what I get for Divine Feminine. Interesting. I am seeing a heart. And I'm seeing, okay, so I feel that, okay, so some of you may be looking for love. The first thing that came to me was that some of you are looking for love, and some of you are just going to be more maybe heart-centered or more focused on, being in your heart center or being more open-hearted. It's really interesting because I was not expecting to see that. And so for some of you, either you're looking for love or you really are embodying love. And they say to embody love because that helps you attract love into your life. Typically, in my experience, just from myself personally, the times in which I am broke and fabulous and doing it a single life on my own and I'm okay, that's when I attract a masculine, because the masculine tends to know that I need him. Okay. so that's how it goes. If I am, high and mighty in a career and I'm working 40 to 50 hours a week, nothing I can do will manifest a masculine showing up. Okay. So I'm just saying this because some of you feminines, might be working 40, 50 hours a week. and trying to manifest love into your life, trying to be, like more open to love, open to seeing what happens, what comes through. And the thing about it is if you are in that place of working hard in your career, it's nothing you can do most of the time will help you manifest that masculine unless you're in a place of allowing it to happen. I usually would tell people to, I'm not saying like, okay, you got to quit your job, but like if you're hyper focused on your career, if you're hyper laser focused on work, most of the time, like at the end of the day, just before you close your eyes your head hits the pillow, you're like, yeah, it would be nice if I had somebody to cuddle with. It's like an afterthought. I did a whole video on how to make space in your life for somebody else, and I would encourage you guys to watch that. I'll see if I can find the link for it. Divine feminines, as far as being close with this divine masculine, spirit, like what's the message here? I feel like from the energy that I'm getting, I feel like the feminine is hesitant to make any kind of action or take any kind of action towards a masculine or towards even like coming into union with the divine masculine. I almost feel like the divine feminine is resisting it for some reason. There's also a lot of emotion too. Like I'm seeing a lot of emotion around love. So emotion around wanting to come into a union or wanting to have a relationship or wanting to have, a person in your life. What's the overall message for the divine feminine? I'm seeing this giant circle. Like it's almost like the divine feminine needs to expand. There's something about expansion, like expand your maybe limiting beliefs, expand your circle. Like I'm seeing a circle. So maybe like if you, for example, only go to one coffee shop in your neighborhood, like you're like, okay, I go to the Starbucks over on 4th and whatever. And that's the only place that you go. And you go to work and you punch in and punch out. And then you go to Anytime Fitness and you run, 5 miles and you get out, you shower, you go home, you feed the dog, and you go to sleep. You're not expanding your circle. You're not expanding in general. So this is where I would say take a class. I would say go to a different coffee shop. I'd say become more open to allowing in another energy into your field. Because I feel like in order for the masculine to show up, there has to be space for it. It sounds kind of ridiculous, but like that the masculine will come in when there is that space. And most of the time we're open to things. We don't even know when we're closed, actually. We're open to things when we're moving. We're open to things when we're broke and nearly homeless. We're open to things because we're desperate, because we're like, okay, we'll do anything. We become really, really open. We'll try anything. We'll go anywhere. We'll turn over every stone. It's I feel like for some of you, it might not be so severe. I guess what I'm trying to say is like expanding the way you're thinking about relationships, but also expanding your social community circle. So if you only go to one place or 2 places a day where you're meeting maybe the same people over and over again, I would go to a different restaurant or do something within the community. There's all kinds of things that people do in communities, all kinds of events, all kinds of like live music, all kinds of benefits. A lot of times there's benefit dinners that you can go to, charity dinners. Sometimes there's cute little things that like small businesses have, like date night things, meetup groups. There's all kinds of things to meet people. It's just for some people, there's a lack of expansion or a lack of like being open to it. That's the thing. You have to be open to it. And I have to say, like a lot of people, they don't even realize that they're not open to it. They think, oh, I'll meet them when I'm, open, or I'll meet them when I'm supposed to meet them. Well, unfortunately, it depends on how old you are, because I want to say 35 and older, it just doesn't happen, because people within your age group are typically married by that time. So most of the time, in order to meet somebody, if you're 35 or older, you're going to have to really expand your community. You're going to have to put the feelers out there. You're going to have to try something new, maybe take, a class somewhere, a yoga class, do something different, maybe take a class at a university, if there's one near you. Just to put yourself out there and be in different places, because you can meet a person at any time. It just depends on how open you are to it. And honestly, if you're open to something, the universe does send you new people, new faces to interact with, to have different conversations with. So there's that. Okay, so I want to jump to the masculine here and see what we got here. The masculine has a lot of energy. I will say this divine masculine has a lot of energy. This is like hot like a firecracker. This is a person who's very focused on passion. I also feel like this is a person that cares about the way they appear. They care very much about their money and how much money they have and what they're doing with their money. This might be also somebody who has a great deal of money, or somebody who has a certain amount of money that makes them kind of shiny to other people. This person might be like have more than one partner, or this person might be involved with, sleeping with more than one person. I feel like this divine masculine is going to attract more than one feminine. I feel like more than one feminine is going. I'm seeing 1, 2, 3. I don't know. I would say probably up to 4, or even 5. I was seeing 5, 4.5 feminines. So like this is a masculine who's going to be very attractive. This is a masculine who's going to be really like sharp. I want to say sharp or intelligent, or just able to get things done. This is a very busy person. This is a person who even might have a little bit of a temper. Okay. I don't know. Masculines can hide temper. Okay. They can hide, they can stuff things down. Masculines stuff things for a long time and then kind of explode, or just like have these moments. But I feel like, there's something very shiny about this masculine that I'm seeing. Very, very shiny. I feel like the divine masculine is in general very focused on the car they drive, the job they have, maybe making sure that they, their bills are all paid. This masculine, I don't necessarily know, like if they, I would say, okay, now this is interesting. This is, again, we have yin yang here, okay, guys. So this is gonna be different for, the way it naturally is. So with divine feminines, I feel like the divine feminines are in their heart or looking for love or romance focus, whereas the masculines, I don't necessarily feel like they're looking for love at all. I feel like their love life is at a standstill. I don't necessarily know, like, if they're in a relationship. Some divine masculines might be in a relationship, but as far as their, let's just say, steps towards the divine feminine, they're not making any action steps. This divine masculine is not taking action steps. In fact, I don't know if I have seen an energy that was so, I want to say, stagnant, or like not moving. Like, yes, they're moving like in their personal life, but like in their romantic, as far as romance, as far as connecting with this feminine here, they're making no moves to connect with the feminine. Actual connection. Okay, so they might be sleeping with more than one person, but there's like no actual connection here. Now, does that mean there's no chemistry? Like, this feminine might be very attracted to this masculine, and this masculine might be very attracted to this feminine, okay? But there's no movement. It's stagnant. It's very, like, I don't know, calm, unmoving. I also feel that for some of you, I didn't actually expect this, to come out this way, but like, I don't know if you can see, it's hard to see through the tea. So it's almost like I would say for some feminines that are listening to the Divine Masculine, this Divine Masculine has, maybe a lack of transparency to them, where they're not going to show you their cards. They're not going to tell you what they're doing. They're not going to give you all of the details of who they're sleeping with, how many times a day they're sleeping with them. They're not going to be really, this is not an open book person. This is a man or masculine who's holding his cards close to his chest, who's not going to tell you or reveal things. He might omit the truth, okay, which is kind of has a Scorpio energy. And I'm not saying this is a Scorpio man or masculine. I'm just saying like this has a Scorpio energy where they are not necessarily leveling up, or they're not necessarily going to divulge the hardcore truth. Okay. They might, at a random time confess something, but it's almost like pre-orchestrated, pre-thought of exactly what they're willing to reveal. They're not, if this person opened up, this would be like someone really spilling their guts, having a meltdown, okay? Having a moment, this Divine Masculine. If you found out all of this stuff that they've done, or all of this stuff that they are maybe not revealing, you would be very surprised, actually. You'd be very surprised. All of the feelings that they might have, all of the things that they've done, all the people they slept with. I want to do a video, I'm not sure if I'm going to get to do it today, about liars, cheaters, and thieves, just to find out about like what's going on with a cheating partner. Kind of video, but like this video is about the Divine Masculine, and as far as I can see, this Divine Masculine, if they were to open up in any kind of capacity, you would be really surprised and shocked about what this person is doing or what they've got going, and all the things that are really going on underneath the surface. I don't feel that this Divine Masculine, and my guides are confirming that, it's really different than how you perceive them. And I don't necessarily know if it's in a bad way. I wouldn't say it's in a bad way or a good way. I would say that it's hard to know from this reading, how deep this shit actually is. Okay. I feel that you would be really surprised, though, whatever it is that this person opened up about, whatever that is, whether that's cheating or whether that's deep secrets or whether that's feelings, because I feel like there's layers here. Some people can withhold their feelings for a really long time and not ever tell you they love you, but they really, really love you. That's part of it. I also feel that that's not the only thing, though. There's a lot of other things my guides are showing me. There's a lot of other things that you would be surprised to find out about with this masculine here. I feel like they aren't necessarily transparent about the money they have. Like, okay, this is just something. Okay, so for example, they might give off the show to the world that, maybe they drive a nice car and they appear to have a great job. Or maybe they've been in the same job for 100 years, but they might not have as money as they appear to have, or they might not have as money as you think that they have. They also might put on a really good show for a lot of people, but like underneath the surface, underneath that surface level veneer, like they maybe hate their life, or maybe they're not happy if they have a partner, or maybe they have, a partner who's hell in a handbasket, like who's just horrible in some regard. Or this is a person who, it's not necessarily about secrets. It's more about how things appear on the surface. On the surface, or to other people, this masculine might appear that they have all of their shit together, but they actually don't. They might have it all together on the outside, but really underneath, behind closed doors, there's a lot of things that maybe aren't going right. Maybe they're not happy with a lot of things in their life. They might not be happy in the relationship that they're in. They might not be happy with the kids, things going on with their kids. If they have kids, they might not be happy in general with their career. They might be in a job that they absolutely can't stand, or they want to every day get out of, but like for whatever reason, they're scared to change or to shift gears into doing anything else. Maybe for some, this masculine has been doing something for so long that they've lost sight of they don't have any drive anymore. Like maybe to the outside, it looks like they've got all this drive, or they've got all their ducks in a row, or they've got their shit together, but they really don't. Okay. It's all kind of a mess. And they and I have to say, like, this person might actually from the outside look like their house looks really nice and their lawn is really neat, but on the inside, they've got 20 piles of laundry piled up on their washing machine. They haven't done their dishes in 2 weeks. The refrigerator is God knows what. There's shit all over the floor. They might have vacuumed like a month or two ago, but probably not. They probably have more unread text messages than you could possibly imagine. Whatever they're doing for work, whether it brings in money or not, might be really, really stressful and might be really, really hard to nail down maybe the finance part of it. Like they might do contract work, whatever it is that they're doing, they have to work 3 to 4 times as hard to get anything from. That's the kind of thing that I'm seeing here with this masculine. So I feel like you'd be very surprised. If you open the door, you might be very surprised. There's going to be shit everywhere, first of all, with this masculine, even if they're single or not, okay? There's going to be shit everywhere. That's what I want to say. And internally, too. Internally, they have a lot more going on internally than you think that they do. Internally, they have more emotions than they let on. Internally, they have a lot of inner turmoil about their life, inner turmoil about the things that they're doing, maybe a lot of stress and secrets, and a lot, I want to say, of lies as well. I want to say lies, but it's not necessarily, again, like really, really bad. It's just that I don't want to put a judgment on it, okay? Because I don't necessarily think that it's fair to do that. I feel like a lot of people from the outside, from everybody else's perspective, have it together. Really at home that they do not, or they're really unhappy in their personal life. Excuse me. So things are not as they appear to be with this divine masculine. Okay, any final messages? And I have to let you guys go here. Will they connect? It's interesting. I feel like if you do connect with this masculine, you're gonna cry. Feminines are going to cry when they come in contact with this masculine. The masculine's going to cry when they come in contact with this feminine. There's an special emotional connection that I see. I feel like if they do come into union, there might be a lot of happiness as well and joy as well. I'm seeing also kids as well, but I don't know. There's just the first thing. I saw this water, with the 2 cups here. So I think that you might be actually very surprised when you come into union with this person, whoever this person is, about the level of emotion there's going to be. All right, I've got to let you guys go. Thank you guys so much. I wish you guys all the best. I send everyone big hugs, big kisses, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye, guys.